That is it. We are sponsored by FTP. That's not the Florists, it's Fuck the Packers. And here's your
Amen.
video. Good evening and welcome to Kneecap Biting with the Motor City Lions, who has taken ownership at Ford Field North. Some people like Lamb Blue Field, but I like Ford Field North because I said it would be called that once we won 3
And
and
the
0
picture
there.
already had it there too.
Yeah, it makes it easy. The Lions feasted on cheddar heads last night. So much that I found out that 40% of season ticket holders put their tickets up for sale and they were sold to Lions fans.
Wow. It was more like a buffet, all you can eat buffet the way we went anyway.
Exactly. They knew they suck.
So let's get a few comments in here. Woo! Super Bowl bound. First for Brian. Yep, that is yeah. Jamo free. Yes.
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 Our speed is
Oh,
back.
I am championship J free. Oh, hey, from Smoking Dad, King SJ. Hey guys, Victory Friday and Victory Monday and Friday in the same week. How good is it? Jamo, Donkey Kong says. Hey, everybody's happy to hear about it. That being said, let's get into a few things. Who were your hot players, Will?
First off, you have to give the guy who got the hat trick, Mr. David Montgomery. Second, you got Mr. Aiden Hutchinson eating up on that offense. You got the commish, John Kaminsky. You got the rookie, Brian Branch, who sustained a little injury but came back and still played hard. And then you got the Sun God, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Those are my hot players.
Dom?
Pretty much the whole team.
Definitely Monty. So glad that I kept him in my big money fantasy league. So glad that he came back and I was smart enough to start him because I knew he was going to eat. Jamal Williams, too. Oh, here's a fun stat about David Montgomery. 4 games as a Lion, 6 touchdowns. 17 games as a Bear last year, 6 touchdowns. Also, I didn't even notice till just now, Sam Laporta's 5+ catch streak came to an end. He only had 4.
It's on him. He dropped
I
one.
wish we had TJ Hawkinson back. Said no one ever.
I was about to say, please don't tell me you was being dead serious when you said.
And who else do you got for your top 5? Oh, he popped out and back in again. There he is. Who else you got, Dom?
We're going 5.
Yeah, 5 deep.
Josh Reynolds, even though he killed my parlay. Goff's numbers are really not that good.
They weren't horrible.
That screen pass.
Oh, I thought it was a double, the reverse. Wasn't it a reverse?
Yeah, it was a double reverse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was an RPO. I mean, it's kind of like an RPO kind of thing for them.
Mm-hmm. All right. Goff's numbers weren't bad though, because I actually spelled it out in my article. Let me get back to that.
His numbers have been great without that goddamn interception.
Yeah, but shit
I think he's
happens.
getting more aggressive. That's why he's throwing more picks. He's not. He's taking the
He's-
top off. The defense a little bit more.
I said Jared Goff, despite having the interception, had a good night throwing the ball around. 19 of 28 for 67.9% completion percentage. Passes for 210 yards. 1 touchdown to Amon-Ra and the pick. That's not horrible. It's just not great. That's all we needed.
That's all we need.
Last year, I think he played more within the confines of the offense. I think he's gotten a lot more confident this year and is letting it rip more. And I think that's because of Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson's given him the ability to do that.
He's not trying to avoid the tight windows anymore.
No. Which is okay because he made up for it
run-
after the interception.
The run defense helps
A
with
run
that.
game and some trust in your defense will help that.
Yep.
Damn right.
Having a defense that can actually stop somebody on a turnover and force a field goal when it's within the 18-yard line.
And a short memory. He came back the next play, next drive, and scored a touchdown. So we'd love to see that.
Yeah, I love that strike to Ra when he stretched out to make that touchdown. That was bad.
You guys heard what he said to Rashad Douglas after the game, right?
Was it something like this? Yeah, that's the one. The power of Ra.
No, I didn't hear what. What did he say, Dan?
Goff went up to Douglas after the game and told him, we put that play specifically in the playbook because we knew you were going to try to jump that pass.
You Rasul Douglas?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh.
My favorite thing that happened last night was post-game after Jared walked out of the locker room and he's in his T-shirt. He's got his little sporty hat on. He walks up and he goes, "So Fitzmagic."
Oh, man. He
called him out for calling him a poor man's Matt Ryan.
It's nothing worse than a shittier player telling you that you suck. Like, dude, what is Fitzmagic
Don't talk
done?
about Fitzmagic like that, man.
Oh, no, I will. I will
love
because he does
Fitzmagic.
shit.
Come on, dude.
I don't know why you keep popping out there, buddy.
He's better. He's better with his mouth than his arm.
My key players of the game was Jerry Jacobs on defense for redeeming himself and coming up with them 2 picks, even though he did give up a penalty. And on offense was David Montgomery coming back and running the ball like he was never hurt, man. I loved it.
Can I get my players?
Go ahead.
So mine's a little unsung, man. Nobody's talked about him and probably won't talk about him, but I'll talk about him. Graham Glasgow had a really good game, had a really good seal in the goal line, was one of the top PFF grades for the offense. So that's big, man. We need some stability at that guard position, opposite of Jonah. And then you know what? I'm gonna get the fucking Decker, man. What a trooper, dude. Like, I know his PFF grade was horrible, but dude was playing on a bum ankle, and he had another good seal at the goal line. Hell, Sewell had a good seal too, where Montgomery just literally walked in. So hats up to Decker, man. What a tough guy, dude. Like, he is Detroit. Let's just say that.
Yep. All right, Dan, who are your top 5?
We ain't got top 5. We got top 2. You got Montgomery and Jacobs, so that's it. Everybody else played like they were supposed to. Those are the only 2 that went above and beyond.
Well, my top was the O-line, period. Goff only got sacked 2 times, and the Packers have been big on putting pressure and sacking quarterbacks.
And they were coverage sacks.
Yeah, and they were coverage sacks. They wasn't because they were getting through so fast. They were coverage sacks, and you can't expect an O-line to protect for 4 or 5 seconds. Even though we're getting used to seeing Jared Goff make a panini and eat it. And my dad says, as I told Jeremy earlier, Hutch reminds me of Richard Dent in play and physique.
He does.
Oh, yeah.
He really
He's
does.
a beast. He's a beast.
Yeah,
The sacks are coming now.
He was an inch taller than Hutch and 280, so that's about the same build.
He leads right now in the NFL in pressures, and he got another sack and a half.
Yep.
Can we all say thank you to the Jacksonville Jaguars for picking Walker over Hutchinson?
Oh, 100%.
Yep.
One of us knew it.
I'm waiting for them to say, like, the Lions paid Jacksonville so we can take Hutchinson.
They didn't have to. That pick was so Jacksonville. They will screw up their pick unless there's no
Let's
way
put it
they
this
can
way.
screw up their pick.
The owner wanted Hutch. The coach at that time, Urban Meyer, he wanted another quarterback, which was stupid. And Trevor Belke said, "Screw you both. I'm going Trayvon Walker with his upside."
Right.
So based off of just upside, Trayvon Walker's the right pick there at that time.
Much had better stats.
A year.
Wait, Walker was Georgia, right?
Say what?
Trayvon Walker was Georgia.
Yes.
Yeah. He wasn't even starting.
He wasn't.
You know what he reminds me of? He reminds me of Mario Williams when the Texans drafted Mario Williams. They thought that they were drafting the next Mario Williams.
So let's go over this one. Here we go. There's our top rated offense and defense.
Brought to you by me.
Josh Reynolds, David Montgomery, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Graham Glasgow, and Frank Ragnow. I think that's pretty much sums it up on offense.
Man, shout out to Josh Reynolds and the job he's been doing this year, man. He really
Yeah.
stepped this game
The Slim Reaper, or whatever they call him.
Whoa. Man,
Praying Mantis.
Hang
Right.
on. The Slim Reaper is either Kevin Durant or Chris Henry. Rest in peace.
Praying Mantis.
There we go. These are the top 5 defensive players. John Kaminsky, Lee McNeil, Brian Branch, Alex Anzalone, Aiden Hudson. I'm going to give an honorable mention to Jerry Jacobs.
Can I give another one?
Sure.
Iffy Melifonwu, man. Ever since he's come into this game, or it's been healthy, he has been impactful. He's long, he hits hard, and he's instinctual. So hats off to Iffy, man.
And there's there's one more on defense I want to throw in there because it can't be understated. Until he was in the lineup, Lee McNeil didn't have a sack. Isaiah Bugs.
Bugs 8, man. He ate. He ate.
Doesn't Benito have sacks in 2 weeks, 2 games in a row?
Burrito did not get a sack last night.
Burrito.
Burrito Jones. He's gonna look ever since I saw him walking off that bus in that.
Yeah, shout out to that uniform, man. Shout out to Burrito for that uniform.
All right. So I'm gonna get back to the chat here. Put a couple of these up.
Burrito Jones.
Hey guys, I found a block of cheese in the fridge and somehow it was melted to goo. +1, James.
Oh, I love the jokes.
Donkey Kong James, you should plug your refrigerator in. Jerry Jacobs did indeed have a redemption one. Oh, we got somebody that just popped back in. I wonder if that was Leonard.
I think he realized E-Man's coming back next week.
Nope, it's Will.
Yeah.
Why is everybody popping out all the time?
My connection was really choppy.
Ah.
I think Jerry heard the footsteps of E-Man.
You know how I ultimately knew that Jordan Love was mid? When he got picked off twice by Jerry Jacobs.
Hey, the first one, I'm going to say Jerry Jacobs benefited by Alex Anzalone.
Yeah.
He made a very instinctive play at the line, raised his hand up, tipped that ball, and he was in the right place because his receiver was 10 yards behind him. If that ball got through, he was burnt toast again.
I thought we were watching Madden, man, because every time he tipped the ball in Madden, they pick it off. So that was a tip drill.
It was the tip drill. But the second one, he read it. He jumped the route. That was beautiful. That was a thing of beauty. So kudos, he got his confidence back with that first pick. That's what happened. And he made a nice pass breakup on Christian Watson. Who else had a good pass breakup on Christian Watson? Oh, yeah, our rookie, Brian Branch.
Oh, dog.
Can we just say he's a straight dog?
He's a dog.
He's playing on a bum ankle, man, and still making plays.
Prior to the Atlanta game, Brian Branch was a +3,000 to win Defensive Rookie of the Year. He went all the way to +1,600.
Woo.
Man,
who's the favorite right now? Jalen Carter?
Jalen Carter and there's one other one. Spit some names there. Will Anderson is the other one.
Aleem has one less sack than Jalen Carter does. I think Aleem has 2, right?
Double B is a dog.
Yeah, but look what Jalen Carter's doing. Like, he's the best player on that Philly defense already.
Yeah, he is.
Well, that defense sucks.
You're out of your fucking mind.
I
You
That
said
mean,
the
you
defense.
just
Eagles
said the
defense
rookie's
sucks.
the best player on that defense. What does that say? If the
Slater,
rookie's the best
Slater
player
played
on the
better on that
Talent.
defense.
defense,
The kid is Aaron Donald. Is who he is.
I'm putting in a
no, he's
request
not
to
Aaron
Brad
Donald.
Holmes and Dan Campbell to have "Love Stinks" pumped through the speakers as the Packers walk out on Thanksgiving morning.
If he's Aaron Donald, he's getting sacks. He's not getting sacks. He's getting pressures.
But
I'm
at
sorry.
the same time, when Comiskey was hurt and all those guys were injured, we said the same thing about Aiden Hutchinson last year.
Yep.
Yes, sir, we did.
Yep.
Aiden Hutchinson wasn't getting no sacks until Kaminsky was in the game. You're absolutely right.
And Comiskey being in the game and
Until
Bugs
last
being in the
week
game,
against Atlanta, Harris.
and then
Yeah.
and Charles Harris, he's making an
Everybody's
impact.
starting to eat, man. Everybody's starting to eat on this defense. They're
Now,
hungry.
I'm going to say right now, I said after the Seahawks game, because it was another week of very low amount of pressures, no blitzing, staying in the base defense, making our guys look like burnt toast. I was on the Aaron Glenn seat so hot he probably can't sit down because his balls will ache.
And I was the
That
one telling
burner.
you, man,
Hey,
give
wait.
my man another week because he shut the
Yeah,
Chiefs down.
I,
Me,
and
me and you
I
been going
am
back and forth
still.
about AG.
You can't
I
do
am
that though.
still.
It was 2 games into the season.
I am still. I got that burner all the way down to low. It's just a low simmer. Right now, it's warming it up because we're starting to get cooler temperatures at night. So all it's doing is keeping his butt warm.
I think the one thing that we have to understand about AG, and I know some people might not say it's an excuse, but it's the reality. We have a very young defense. We have a lot of rookies that are playing right now. We have a lot of undrafted guys. We have a lot of third-year guys that are popping. Still a
Hey,
very young defense, and we did
here's
add some main pieces that we lost, and now we're having to mix other pieces in there.
hey,
Well,
here,
It's a work in progress.
go ahead,
here's the
Jim.
thing about that. You know, the depth that we have, losing CJGJ wasn't as big of a deal as it should have been. Damn
There
it.
was no fall off, not at all
There
with
was no
Tracy
fall
Walker.
off.
Yeah,
Not at all.
that's Brad Holmes, man. That's not AG. That's Brad Holmes.
Yeah,
Mm,
but coaching has something to do with it
Oh
too.
yeah, for sure. Yeah,
But good lord, everybody's having stream
really, it's
issues.
the run defense.
And we got Keegan,
for sure.
Nice.
and we got Dan Leonard back. Good, Leonard's back. Full
Sorry.
house tonight, loving it. That being said, we lost CJGJ. We lost Josh Pascal. Levi Onwuzurike has done a disappearing act since week 1.
Martin's not
Who
even
else?
playing.
Martin hasn't even
Martin
hit the
hasn't played
field
yet.
yet.
Gilmore hasn't even played.
Does
He's been
anyone
a
have any idea what's going on with him?
he's
He's developing.
just been a healthy scratch. They
Who?
keep Broderick Martin. They keep saying how good he looks in practice, but they haven't
But he
put him
can't
on
beat
the
out the
field.
other tackles. That's the problem. He's not beating out the other tackles.
We don't even
Doggy.
have any.
We have 2 legit sized defensive tackles. Burrito Jones isn't as big as Bugs or McNeil, and
Yeah.
Martin's bigger than both of them. Could you see this 3 defensive tackle set if you throw Martin in the middle instead of Burrito Jones?
Right.
We might see him at the bye
Yeah.
week.
That's 1,000 pounds just at D tackle.
Didn't
Yeah.
Burrito Jones have didn't Burrito, I gotta be saying Burrito. Didn't Burrito Jones have a sack
Benito.
last game?
No,
No.
he
Against
had it in
Atlanta, he did.
Atlanta, not against
Yeah,
the
last game.
Packers.
That's what I said last game in
Yeah,
Atlanta.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
obviously
but
you put in that work or something that they ain't putting Roger Martin in the game. So
Yeah,
I'm
but
just saying,
but
wait,
he,
you understand what I'm saying here? The coaches in pressers talk about how much he's improving every week, yet they never play him.
Right.
Yeah.
but you
Well, I
can be
mean,
improving, but you might not be able to beat out your competition.
right.
And
That's what I'm
I'm
trying
going to
to
make a
say.
glaring observation I've noticed about Hutch, and I want to call it out right now. If he had a better bend and didn't stutter step when he takes off when the ball is snapped, he'd have twice as many sacks right now.
He would. Yep.
But he's full power, man. He's all full power and motor.
I understand that, and I love that. But
Yeah.
he'd be twice as good if he could develop that bend, because that's one thing Richard Dent had over him is a great bend. That's what James Houston has over him. when he's playing is a great bend. That's why the 5 snaps that Houston was in versus Kansas City, guess what they were? Pressures.
But he's more of the TJ Bosa mold, and they don't bend a lot themselves. They just straight power you.
They got to
Or
develop that. They got to develop that for him to take that next step as
The-
the elite
And the
D
other
end is
thing
what I'm
is
saying.
the rest of Pittsburgh's and San Francisco's D lines are better than ours.
All I know is they traded up to the 3rd round. 3rd round is where you pick starters, even in the compensatory picks. We've seen it year after year after year. I don't know what it is. Isaiah Buggs helped him with his hand pop and getting low. We saw that in videos in practice
I
during
know
the
what it
training
is.
camps. We have
he's still
enough depth.
developing moves. He's still developing moves.
We have enough depth. We don't need to use them yet.
I
They're
was going to
waiting for
say
an
it's
injury.
the guys ahead of him on the depth chart are just playing better.
Exactly. Yeah, that's why Martin's.
Well, Benito Jones, even though he had a sack last week, was one of our lowest ranked defenders.
Yes.
Why? Because he misses
Yeah.
tackle. Because he misses tackles in the run game. Why did we take him out this game and made it so Bugs played more? He
But are we
missed
so
a
sure
key.
that Martin's going to come in and be better than Benito Jones? I mean, we hope he
He
is.
should
Right?
be. That's
He
why
should
we
be.
drafted
For
him.
sure.
He should be, but there's woulda, coulda, shoulda. We don't know.
See, that's-
Anzarike was finally healthy, and that's why Bugs sat for 2 games.
Yep.
See-
And then he disappeared in that second game, and they said, "Okay, Bugs, you're in."
Right?
I think they got
Bugs
him.
did something to get.
Oh, go ahead. My bad. I'm sorry about that.
No, I'm
like
just
the
saying,
fact-
Bugs did something to get in trouble.
It was a personal family issue, bro.
Yeah.
But I think the same they're doing the Roger Martin, they're doing with Gibbs. You feel me? They obviously they got somebody right now that they know can carry the role, they carry the workload, and they can slowly ease them into it.
100%.
Why sit there and rush him into something if they feel that he's not ready? That's the same thing with Gibbs. Like, why sit there and rush him in the game and throw him into stuff where they feel that he's not ready when they got somebody capable, they know that's ready, that can do what they got to do.
And we're not saying he's not ready. It's just that there's a better player.
Obviously, he's not ready if he's not on the field. There's something.
But there's a better player ahead of him, is what I'm saying. Right now.
But wait. But what I'm saying is Benito Jones being ranked so low on and how he's been playing because of his missed tackles. He's missed tackles in every game other than week 1.
Well, I'm sure Aaron Glenn's looking at that and seeing
I understand, but we hear from Aaron Glenn. He goes, "Oh yeah, he's progressing real well. He's there. We're ready to see him soon." But yet they scratch him on the weekend. I don't like it. That's what I'm getting at. You can't say one thing and then do another.
I can't trust anything that Aaron Glenn thinks or says about players in the front 7 because he doesn't know how to coach them.
Agreed, Dom.
Yeah, there you go, Rodney Fouch. That's exactly what I'm talking about. The kid flipped the damn tackle sled completely over. Broderick Martin.
Guy's a stud.
I want to say something about Donkey Kong's most recent comment there.
Well, at least Martin can warm multiple spots on the bench in one sitting. That one.
No,
he said
Gibbs was picked 12 overall, and he should be catching wheel routes and crossing patterns.
Probably, yeah, but Sam Laporta has been so good, he's taking some of the target.
Right, and if you notice, he's not lining up at the line. He's lining up where we thought Gibbs would have been lining up this whole time, at the split end position in the slot. He's not,
beast.
and still being effective as a blocker because he's taken out the linebacker past the D lineman for the run game. And shout out to Gibbs. 8 carries, 40 yards, 5 yards per carry.
I was going to
exactly
say,
what we wanted.
They're bringing him on slowly. That's okay.
What this is? Because his pro comp was Alvin Kamara, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Go look at Alvin Kamara's rookie year.
It started out the exact same way.
Right.
Mark Ingram,
because Mark Ingram had 230 carries that year.
And Mark Ingram's like Montgomery in a sense of the body size and build.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he was a pounder.
And what regime did Dan Campbell come from? The Dolphins and the what? The Saints.
Saints. Yep.
I understand he's got Jones in front of him. What I'm saying is Jones has been straight booty cheeks for 3 straight weeks.
Oh, for real? Really not to this staff.
Haven't he been getting a lot of double teams though?
No.
Oh.
He's been getting owned one-on-one because Ali McNeil and Bugs have been taking on the double teams.
Yeah.
It's funny. Like, we're mad that Martin isn't playing because we drafted him in the 3rd round to do something, but in reality, it's a good thing because
It's a great
we're 3-1, man. We're 3-1.
Oh,
Like Bugs is playing
I'm just
good.
saying.
Mac is playing good.
I
Martin
would
will get
love
his
to-
chance.
Not only that, that's just to tell you the statement that and the accountability of our GMs. You feel me? They put depth on this team that we're not used to.
And I'm saying that, but I'm saying Burrito Jones ain't been good depth. So I would have him be a healthy scratch one game and see what Martin would do.
Maybe
That's
they
all
see
I'm
something
saying.
that we don't see, Jeremy. I mean, we're not scouts.
I'm
I
just
get what you're saying.
saying
Yeah.
He's
what
just
they
hyped
say
up
in the
his
presser and what they're doing is two different things. Is all
Well,
I'm
we've known
getting at.
them to be that way
They're doing
too.
that to throw people off guard. Let
Benito
everybody know.
Jones wouldn't even be on this team to start with if we weren't so lacking in defensive tackle depth and talent.
Let's get into the stats now. The key stats to this: 401 total yards for the Lions, 230, with 203 of them being passing yards for the Green Bay Packers.
Good balance.
190 passing yards for us and 211 rushing yards. What did they get? 27 net rushing yards as a team. A team.
44 last week.
And guess who had 10 of those? Didn't Love have 10 of those?
Yeah, Love had 10 positive, but he got sacked 5 times. So
yeah, that's why. It probably would have been higher, but he got sacked so much.
It ended up being negative 20. Aaron Jones only ran for 30 yards in the game.
They had negative 1 yards at halftime. It was crazy.
Yeah, the net yards. Yeah,
Mhm.
the net yards was negative 1.
Yeah, at halftime.
25 first down for the Lions, 15 first downs for the Packers.
So we whooped their ass, what you're saying.
7 out of 17 third down efficiency. They were 3 for 11. 2 for 2 on 4th down. They were 1 for 1. 73 full total plays at 5.5 yards per play. 53 at 4.3. 2 sacks allowed by our O-line, 5 by theirs. We punted the ball 4 times. They punted it 5 times. Penalties, that's still something we got to clean up. It's a little better than last week. Last week it was 10 for 119. This week it's 8 for 70. They had 4 for 31, and the biggest one was Quay Walker jumping over that O-line.
Because every time we play the Packers, they always have more. We always have more penalties than they do.
And every time, it's Quay Walker that has the most crucial penalty for the Packers.
Well, that's his dumbass's fault. He's a dumbass.
Go look at his Wonderly score. He's legally retarded.
Wow.
And Jeremy, didn't the Packers only have the ball for like 20 minutes?
Yes.
20-something minutes.
I think it says that on there.
Can we all finally say that we finally have a defense?
Oh, I've said we had a defense. We've had a talented defense.
I'm talking about like just over years past. Like this year, we finally have a defense. Like
the fact that we've been ranked in the top 5 or 10 all season for rushing says we finally had a defense.
Yep.
I'm just saying, like over the years, like we always had offense. Even back when we had Stafford, we always had an offense.
And we're getting turnovers. That's a big one too.
One year with Stafford, we had a historically great defense. Don't say we never had one.
We had one.
Oh, 2014.
Yes.
The year we had Sue.
It's not that good. That run defense is the 5th best run defense in NFL history.
Yep.
This one, if it stays doing stuff like this, guess what? It may end up better.
I'm loving the stunts, Jeremy, that we running, man.
And this time we can beat Dallas in the playoffs because it's at home.
And the run fits we're doing is really good.
Man, my man Derek Barnes been eating too, man. Like
Barnes has been playing out of his mind.
Man, he playing like
And Jack is getting there more too. He's making some plays.
He'll make
some good hits.
Let him play more. You know what? I want to say this, though. I want to give a shout-out to one guy on the entire Packers team. Jaden Reed. The only one of them worth a...
Yes.
Yeah, Jaden.
Sparty.
Because it's Michigan State.
Party.
Only one worth a goddamn.
You know, I want to.
I'm trying to look something up right now, but I keep going to not stats.
I want to give another shout out to a Lion.
Who?
Cam shut down. All right.
Oh yeah.
My
Dude,
God.
that hit on Aaron Jones was savage. Now I don't want to see that with it. I don't want to see that all the time.
I thought the cartwheel was Walker.
I refuse to believe he's that good yet.
I mean, nobody's throwing his way.
Is this it? Nope.
Man.
That's where he jumped in.
Yeah, because they were trying to pick on Jerry Jacobs.
Oh, that's the.
No one's
that's
thrown
the
his
vehicle.
way all season.
I know I put it in here. Did I forget?
But yeah, you're right. Jerry Jacobs. They probably,
Not anymore.
There's the unsung heroes of this game in the last two games.
Yes, sir.
That O-line.
Especially number 68, man. He's made of steel.
Yeah.
Taylor. Where he come from? Deep Ohio State.
Ohio State.
Yeah.
That was a stack team
Pro
too.
Bowls. Where's everyone else from that first round O lineman gone to? The Pro Bowl. Not entirely Decker's fault.
No, it's not his fault. There's a lot of good tackles.
And then we got this guy making that big bonehead penalty for the Packers. And as he walks into the tunnel, he's going, "Oh, they just look so happy."
Hey, was watching that live.
That boneheaded move.
When we was watching that live and we kicked the points, we was like, yeah, and it came back to commercial break and it was like penalty. I was like, oh, here come the refs cheating again. And then I was like, a penalty. I'm like, we finally got one.
And there you go. The Lions stick it to love.
I love it. That was a late penalty too because they had come back from the commercial and then they said, "Oh, by the way, we messed up. We should have called that."
Man,
a Lions fan in South Korea.
Yeah,
wow.
Brian Roy, that's my buddy.
Rep the field.
Quay Walker is my second favorite Packer of all time. My favorite is Tony Mandrich.
the bust of all first round busts the Packers have had, Tony Mandrich.
To be honest, my favorite line of all time was before Slay was Dre Bly, man. Like, I love Dre Bly.
Hey, kudos to Dre Bly and Duker, man. Whatever they're doing with the secondary, it's working.
That's just like
it's not teaching them coverage skills because Dre Bly never had those.
Come on. Dre
Bly was instinctual, man.
He got hurt, and then he was bad.
Dre Bly was like rookie year Trayvon Diggs.
I was just about to say thank you.
He's instinctual.
First it was Dre Bly, it was Marcus Peters, now it's Trayvon Diggs.
It is very hard to find a cornerback that's going to have ball skills and coverage ability at least statuses.
Oh.
Shout out to our coaching staff, period. That's like Randall Well knew how to develop receivers. So Dre Bly knew how to develop corners. When we had Drew Staley here, he knew how to develop running backs, even though his running back was always hurt. But Mark Brunell.
They're learning. Jonathan Scott's getting it on the D line. He's learning now.
Now let's get to the big news of the day. The NFL has reduced Jamo's sentence, and he returns to play next week with practicing on Monday.
Sentence. Like he just got out of prison early.
Okay, so what's the over/under on how long he plays before he gets caught gambling again?
Probably the rest of his career.
Oh,
yeah.
You're just mad because
who's drinking the Kool-Aid now, baby? Who's drinking the Kool-Aid right now?
Hey, Jeremy, I got a question for you. Now that Jamo back, you think you see Josh Reynolds' role declining?
No, I think Josh Reynolds is going to be used more in the slot more.
I see Marvin Jones not seeing the field anymore. I see that.
I think Marvin Jones Jr. gets regulated to the practice squad just in case someone gets hurt, so it's a body.
Yep.
He's going to be on the special team.
Or he's going to be
retire.
Or he's just going to be a free agent.
Trade for a 7th round pick.
I'm so disappointed in him, man. I'm so disappointed in Marvin Jones, man.
He's old, man.
No, he's old.
He's
like the one of the oldest receivers in the NFL at 33.
But he had a decent season when he played for Jacksonville last year, though.
Yeah, but no, he still had key drops. Mm-hmm. He had 528 yards and 8 touchdowns on a team where Zay Jones had 10 touchdowns.
And Kirk
That's
too.
how I know T-Law is the man.
And Christian Kirk had how many goddamn yards?
And
Yeah,
he had a
Christian Kirk.
buttload of
1,000.
yards and 13 touchdowns Christian Kirk had?
Gig
And
'em.
now they've got Kelvin Ridley as well,
Yep.
and Evan Ingram.
And they're still not winning.
Yeah, now they got to go to London for 2 weeks.
Oh, they'll probably win both of those.
Yeah, they love
They
London.
better.
London loves the Jacksonville.
They're home games for them.
London does not give a shit about NFL football.
Oh yeah, they have everybody with all the jerseys there.
They stadiums be sold out, and their stadiums is like 2 times bigger.
Did
than
you
our
guys see on
Yeah, and you know what most of that is? American tourists.
Yes. Did you guys see on McAfee they interviewed Arthur Smith, and Arthur Smith was in a pub doing an interview. I don't like the Falcons, but Arthur Smith is a dog for doing that interview in a pub.
Yeah, James Burgess, you're right.
What'd he say?
Josh has value
Josh has
when Jared
when Jared Neeson was there.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm gonna.
We didn't even have a target last week.
You got 3 legit receivers now.
I'm gonna give a shout out to Matt LaFluke. He even said that they played like shit in the first half.
Yeah.
Oh.
His presser. They said,
Oh,
what do
my
you think
God,
about the
yeah, his
first
They got
half?"
manhandled.
He
That's what he
sucked.
said.
Matt
He said,
LaFluke.
"Sucked."
Matt LaFluke on the sideline looked like that kid who just got caught by the school bully and took all his lunch money the whole game.
And then what you said about freaking Campbell was doing, like, I bet Campbell was like,
It's okay, Donkey Kong. We don't need Khalif Raymond. Oh, he said Reynolds. I read Raymond.
Usually Khalif and Gadget plays.
Marvin is done.
Yeah.
he was done.
That's fine.
I got a question for y'all. Like we're talking about with Jamo coming back, reduced roles. Did y'all see maybe Laporta's role being a little reduced because of the receivers?
No.
Absolutely not.
No,
Okay.
it's going to be the slot is going to be manned by 3 different people at 3 different times. Laporta's role is going to be about the same. He just might not be on quite as many snaps, but he will be
That's
on.
what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But he'll be impactful still.
But he'll still be impactful. That's what I'm saying. Because one thing Laporta has been doing good is blocking downfield, and that's the only thing you can say Marvin Jones Jr. has done good is block downfield for the run game.
See, I see with Jamo coming back that's opening up things more for Laporta and the St. Brown and Gibbs and everything else like that, because you gotta be accountable for that speed he bring on the field. And
I see more shots downfield to Williams, and
that's open up the whole other side of the field. You feel me?
Right, exactly.
Especially when you got.
I think you're going to see Amon-Ra slip back inside again.
Yeah, I'll
where
go
he
play.
feasted.
Remember,
and Reynolds is going to be opposite.
Put Josh Reynolds on one side, put Jamo on the other side, put St. Brown in the middle.
And say cover him. Cover him. Go ahead.
And throw Gibbs out there in the flat just for the hell of it.
Yep.
Or Monty, whichever one. Ben Johnson's licking his chops right now.
It's going to be pound David Montgomery up the middle till the safeties cheat up, and as soon as they cheat up, it's going to be play action.
Yep.
And who's the best quarterback in the NFL in play action?
Still, Jared Goff.
He throws a pretty ball.
And he ain't been throwing ducks this year, man.
So I'm going to say I wrote my review. It didn't get printed in time because my publisher has been at the hospital. He had to have back surgery. So him and his wife has been there. Prayers up for Candy and Scott Morganroth. I want them to make sure that everything's good.
Yes,
and he gets home soon. Because this review and the preview needs to get out there because it was good. I was happy. And you know what? The Lions, 2 weeks in a row, have executed exactly what I said.
Yeah.
I said to start the game, we're going to struggle going to the left, and we're going to run to the right. And they'll move Quay Walker, and there's going to be one key play that busts it open, and then they won't stop either side. And you know what that play was? This was the turning point for the offense. Jared Goff getting 15 yards on the left-hand side.
Yeah, the slowest run in the world. My God.
And if he was a little bit faster, he could have scored because that side was wide open, man.
Oh,
yeah. I mean, if Rasul Douglas saved a touchdown.
He tried to create some contact. I'm like, dude, just go down, bro, please.
Yeah.
Like we need you, bro.
He should have just kept running towards the pylon, honestly, instead of trying to cut back in.
No, they were gonna wax his ass. He wasn't gonna make it.
You're taking contact either way, man. At least give yourself the chance for that touchdown.
Get your ass out of bounds, Sparrow. Get your ass out of bounds or slide.
Yeah, I'm about to say we got too much riding on golf right now, man.
Exactly, man. Don't
Yep.
be
And
stupid.
That Zach, I thought he got hurt. You feel me? But
We
he
finally
popped
got
back
our
up.
running QB. He says, "Oh, we got somebody else popping in here. Let's see who it is."
Hey, Nate,
Tonight
you
we
said that was the slowest run.
Oh,
Compare that-
yeah.
Hey,
It's Big
what's up?
Dan.
Can't be slower than Tom Brady.
No,
Or Peyton
no,
Manning.
believe it or
Peyton Manning.
not, 40
Manning.
time wise, Pat Mahomes and Jared Goff ran the exact same 40 time
That's
of
crazy.
4.8.
Oh shit.
I don't believe that.
Yeah, I don't believe that one
why-
bit. Are you
Go
sure about
look it
that?
up. Go
That
look it
clock
up.
That's crazy.
They both ran a 4.8 40 time.
Well, Pat Mahomes got better burst.
Pat Mahomes has better vision and better
Yes.
fluidity in his hips.
Mm.
You know what else Pat Mahomes has?
Super Bowl rings.
Yep.
Great arm.
An 0-2 record against Jared Goff.
I like that.
Super
So
Bowl
you're
rings.
saying he's as good as Pat Mahomes?
No.
I know.
No.
No, I am not saying that. I'm just saying they
I know.
had the exact same 40 time. The
I'm just
difference
fucking with
is
y'all.
the fluidity, the change of direction. That's what Pat Mahomes has over him. His shuttle
Yeah.
time was fantastic. I think he had like a 4.7 shuttle time for Mahomes. For Goff, it was about the same as Brady, 5.2 seconds.
Mhm.
He
I
Sounds
turns.
great.
He turns.
Sounds great,
He
Burgess.
turns
We
like-
can get rid of Baez.
Yeah.
I have a lighter right here. Can I set this Baez jersey on fire?
Do
Yeah.
it.
I want to see it.
Oh,
Who?
also, something else Mahomes has over him, like 40 yards on his deep ball.
Oh, easy.
But
Flick of a wrist.
that's you can say that, but in all actuality, in that Rams versus Mahomes,
Yeah, he
Goff
outdueled
threw
him.
more. Goff threw 5 more passes more accurately than Mahomes did downfield.
I didn't say
He
accurately. I
also
just said he's
threw
got a
0
longer deep
picks,
ball.
whereas Mahomes threw 3.
Right?
I want the NFL punt, pass, and kick competition back.
Yes,
I was in one of those at the Silver Dome.
that's awesome, Dom.
This
Well-
Sunday, the Silver
And, you know,
Dome.
We were
We'll
so
sell you the whole
close.
seat, but you only need the edge.
That shuffle pass that Love completed it was a negative 1 yard pass still because they were at the 4 and they ended up at the 3 when Hutch had Love wrapped up in the end zone and he
Oh
was
my
getting ready to
God.
go down. That led to a touchdown
Yep.
because that was towards the end of the third quarter. That extended that drive, and then the unthinkable happens. When the game clock hits 0, it's different than the play clock.
Mm-hmm.
It took them 2 seconds to hike that ball after the
Stupid,
game
man.
clock
Fucking
hit
stupid.
0. And the fact they allowed that play to stand, and this is where I'm going to go in with it. Remember we were setting up for the field goal and the timeouts called, and then they went to a TV timeout and it took 2 minutes. TJ Lang was on the sideline, and there was a caller that called into the ticket this morning, and they literally called it out as a conspiracy theory, and TJ Lang comes back. He goes, "Yeah, I just got off the plane, and I'm going to lend some credence to it." Because a minute and a half went by during that TV timeout, and a ref at the opposite goal line dropped the flag.
Wow. Hmm.
What though? I don't mind them if they let them have that because I have Jaden Reed on another fantasy team and I really needed those points.
I bet you did. That being said,
I really did.
I understand.
Yeah, but if we would have lost that game and the game been closer, that would have been. I would have been
But-
fucking pissed.
So then they sit there, the NFL rules guys probably called down to that guy's microphone and said, "Hey, I don't give a fuck who does it. Somebody's got to drop a flag because that is illegal what he did there, and we got the call wrong. They shouldn't have got a touchdown."
Yeah.
I'll agree with you there.
You know
How
what?
does Dan Campbell just beat the shit out of somebody? down
And
the sideline?
I don't, and I'm not complaining because it really didn't impact the fact that we won.
It made it a little closer.
Don't get
but
me
yeah.
wrong. All it did was give them 6 points because they failed the 2-point conversion on that play.
It helped the total of your bet in the game.
Oh yeah, it was all Vegas.
But I told everybody, bet the over because even if it's a close game, they're scoring over 44 points in this game.
And you said that, yeah.
You know what though? Something else that I saw that bothered me in last night's game. After the first quarter, Dan Campbell lost all his balls, and he played so conservative the rest of that game.
No.
That's not Dan Campbell, dude. That's Ben Johnson,
Do
man.
that. We have a defense now.
Yeah, that's Ben
But
Johnson, bro.
No,
Exciting.
well, I don't know what you're talking about. We scored 27 points in the first half. It was
Yeah.
the third quarter where we went vanilla. They went very vanilla. They weren't doing anything extravagant. They weren't calling any weird plays on either side of the ball. We stayed in the base defense that entire third quarter too,
Hey.
which is when they started scoring.
Before this,
That
JD,
is
go
how.
look at that again. The first half of that game, they didn't blitz once.
But we got holding calls on some of those drives
NFL
too. We
team.
killed ourselves on those drives with penalties.
This is what normal NFL teams with respectable defenses do. Everyone's just so used to Campbell being ballsy, he doesn't have to do that anymore.
Well, yeah, now he has to do it because I expect him now.
I mean, if you want to talk about the problem, the third quarter was the problem. We didn't score shit in the third quarter.
James Burgess, I said it right there when we were up 27-3 going into the half. I said, there's no reason why, if we stay playing exactly like this, that we can't score 60 against this defense.
Yeah.
And to point out what you said, Nate, yes, I think the third quarter was where Aaron Glenn got lazy in the big
And Ben Johnson got conservative.
Yeah, both of them did. They both went very
both of them.
conservative.
They were playing not to lose the game.
Yep, and then once they started scoring at the beginning of the fourth quarter, they were like, fuck this shit, we're going to start
Exactly. Going. Let's go back to our old ways. Let's do it.
Neil had to pop out again.
Hey, I'm going to say, at the end of the first half, Dan Campbell had an interview. He said, we need to keep the pressure and the momentum that we have. We were the exact opposite when the second half started.
We did.
We don't do that.
But the third quarter has been the downfall of Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn in our losses last year, and when we got close, it also cost us against the Bills. We allowed the Bills back in that game.
But if you had a choice,
Miami back in that game.
But if you had a choice, would you rather be dominant in the fourth quarter or have your hay in the third? I know perfect.
One time, I just want 4-quarter domination.
I get it.
Right. I think I've seen that maybe 4 or 5 times in my entire life of watching the Lions.
What week do the Lions play the Dolphins?
Oh, yeah, that's going to be a barn burner.
Exactly. They're not going to be able to say, oh, we're going to take a quarter off like that because the Dolphins are fucking track stars.
Yeah.
We don't play the Dolphins.
Yeah, we don't play the Dolphins, dude.
Mm-mm.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
No, that was last year.
Well, that was last year.
Yeah, and we almost won that game.
Yeah, but we got conservative in the second half and lost it. Because we were up, what was it, 31-3 and lost it 34-31?
I believe.
Let me ask y'all a question, okay? Just hear me out for a sec. Do you think that sometimes maybe they lay off the gas because you're dealing with a lot of young players that are inexperienced?
I think it's more playing to avoid injuries, playing the game safe, trying to run.
Well, that too. But I think experience matters a lot too. This is a very young team that that they're still learning.
In order to play the Bills, the Dolphins, or the Jets, it'll be in the Super Bowl.
Let's go. But do y'all see what I'm saying? I think inexperience has a lot to play with it. Not to mention, we had a fucked up O-line still. Our O-line's still banged up. Decker's hurt still, but he played. Jonah wasn't.
What's the count now, Jamie?
Jonah wasn't.
34.
1 out of 38 games we've had all 5 starters.
38.
Yeah.
And
man, that's a Javier Baez slump.
That's his batting average. 1 out of 38.
Man, I don't even know what having a full offensive line freaking is anymore. Okay, I haven't had one in 23 years almost.
You haven't had one since your last Super Bowl.
But we rely a lot on the rookies. That's what I'm saying. I think I can see why they take their foot off the gas a little bit. Now, is it always the right thing? No.
27-17 on Miami.
Okay. Oh, yeah, they started coming back in the second quarter. That's what it was. Because we were up 14-3 at the end of the first.
14-7, but yeah.
No,
I'm gonna say this. Me and Big Dan were on point last night with Glenn. That second half, Glenn was doing nothing. Fourth quarter, we needed someone to step up. Jerry Jacobs stepped up and gave us that win, not Glenn.
Well, that defensive stop they
Wait a
got
minute,
where
wait a minute.
that ball went back on
So
backwards
you're
pass.
not including the sack with Hutch and Harris in the fourth quarter. You're not. We dialed up pressures there. There was
Yeah, that
sacks that
backwards
happened.
pass, that was a stop. That was a huge stop when
Yeah,
there
It
was
was,
that backwards
I'm
pass.
saying, I'm saying
yeah. And
secondary.
if Walker would have been
Oh,
paying
the
attention,
secondary, yes.
if Walker would have been paying attention, that ball was live. He'd have been gone.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah, it was mainly the third quarter with that soft coverage and just staying in the base defense most of it that
Yeah.
made
But
Jordan
if
Love
y'all
look like an all-star.
but if y'all watch football, and I'm sure a lot of y'all do watch football, and y'all seen blowouts, every team's got some dog and tries to fight back. And most defenses go prevent or they go play not to lose. So it didn't surprise me. It's how we came in the fourth quarter, which told me if we're going to win this game or not. And when we made that drive and got that touchdown, I knew that okay, this is over.
My thing, Burgess, is laying off the gas is trying to burn clock. If they'd have been running and hiking at almost under 5 seconds every play, I'd agree with you. But they weren't. Not until the fourth quarter.
I agree.
They weren't burning the
With you,
clock
Jeremy.
in the third quarter. They were run, get up to the line, run another play, fail again. Okay, let's try a pass, fail, punt. That's
Right.
our punts were almost all in the third quarter.
Dude, Jack
What'd
Fox
you-
was
what'd you-
garbage, man. His punts are terrible.
Russ, shut up.
What'd you think?
Yeah.
What'd you guys think of
Nate,
that play where we
really?
kicked a field goal, but then like the guy tried to jump over and they called a penalty on it, and then he gave us a fresh
Dumbasses
set of
fault.
downs?
You
Thank
just
you.
missed it. You just missed it. We
Oh,
talked about that.
He wasn't even close to blocking it either by jumping over. Like Riley had that
Shall we
thing
bring
right up
up
the
the
uprights,
picture?
easy.
Hey, first
Quay
half,
Walker in a nutshell.
I called that. When is Quay Walker gonna mess up and help us?
The mess up was when they moved him to the right side. As soon as they moved him
yep.
to the right side to help that side, because he's their best tackler with Devondre Campbell out.
Hands down.
As soon as he went on that side to stop the run, they ran that RPO with Goff to the left, and he was gone.
Yep.
Mhm.
And you know what really helped us out in that win, I think, is Jair not playing
Oh,
because
100%.
Yeah.
I'm not.
he's a dog, man. He shuts down everybody.
That's not exactly true because he's never shut down Amon Ra.
Well, okay, but I mean, I'm just saying, like he's an all-pro
I'm
player.
just
Like
saying he may be an All-Pro
he's a
player.
damn good. He's
shut
a
down
damn
Justin
good
Jefferson
cornerback.
more than
Okay,
one.
yeah, he's a damn good
But
cornerback.
you can't shut down Amon Ra.
No one can shut down Amon
That's
Ra.
because
And-
Amon Ra is as strong as he is and can stop the jam at the line.
And he's
That's-
shifty. And he's shifty.
And the other thing he's never done, he's talking how Justin Jefferson hasn't done anything, but in the 3 games that Minnesota has won, Justin Jefferson had 100 and some odd yards receiving versus Jair Alexander and 2 touchdowns.
Dude,
So-
Justin Jefferson is the most talented receiver in the league, no matter what.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm gonna
But
say
they haven't won shit.
And the one cornerback or defensive back, I'm glad we didn't take this draft because I seen him get ragdolled in preseason, and it's already happened twice in the regular season. Is Emmanuel Forbes?
yeah.
I've seen him get
Supposedly
ragged.
Christian Gonzalez has been really good.
Christian Gonzalez has been really good, and I knew he would be. But Emmanuel Forbes, I've been watching him on that sideline, and if the wide receiver has 10 pounds on him, all he does is boom, and all of a sudden you see him roll away.
Forbes is Mississippi State.
Mississippi State.
Yep.
Yeah, Weatherspoon's been playing well too. Weatherspoon and Gonzalez are going to be very good.
Oh
So,
God!
I
I had to listen to Andrew blowing Weatherspoon for like 10 minutes earlier today, and I'm like, dude, I can't.
He's
Oh
good, man.
God!
Yeah, I know he did. Quay is their solid tackler. I didn't say anything about that. but we expected the bonehead play to happen, and it did.
Yeah.
And
Dumb
yeah,
players make dumb plays.
and I looked it up. It was 1993. There was a center that one of the defensive linemen, it was a big D tackle from Dallas, of course, that jumped up on the back of a center to block a field goal, and he busted the guy's scapula. He was out
Mm.
for the season.
Ugh.
It's a
That's why
dangerous
they
play.
made.
Yeah, it's a
That's
dangerous
why
play.
they made that rule that you can't jump, especially the long snapper.
Did they now, Jeremy? Did they change that rule, like where you can't use the player as leverage, but you can jump if you clearly jump over it, or you can't
Nope,
jump over it at all?
you can't
Can't
jump
jump
over
over.
it. Can't
Walker,
jump over it.
Walker
You
didn't
can.
touch him at all. He cleared him completely.
Oh,
He
yeah.
hit his cleat. I thought his cleat hit the bottom of or the top of the back of one of the linemen.
Nope, it didn't touch it. He didn't touch anything. He was so
Okay.
far. He was so far to the left, or yeah, his left of where
Mhm.
Riley Patterson was aiming. He would never had a shot to block it anyways.
Exactly.
If he'd have
Yeah,
jumped,
Riley had that thing
if he'd have
gone.
jumped between the shoulders of the other guard and center,
Mhm.
he'd have been more in line with it because we were on the right hash, kicking to the left. So when they're looking the other way, he'd had to go to his left.
The
You know
only
what
one
I'm
I've ever
saying?
seen to do that was Cam Chancellor when he jumped over and just did it clean, and
Oh
I've
yeah,
never seen
because he
anybody
did
do
it
it.
like 3 yards back, and it was
Right, exactly, yeah.
it was so clean, and it was such a
Oh,
low kick because the guy was a former soccer kicker, and he had that low trajectory to get long field goals.
did y'all see the one that the Patriots did where the guy was literally like going like he was flanking out, and then he ran into it and then blocked it? I had never seen that before.
And then there was another one where we had a year where we were just blocking kicks and punts like crazy. What year was that, Dom?
Talking about like 2 or 3 years ago, with what's the dude's name from Clemson? He got
Oh,
hurt. They rushed him back.
oh, I know you're talking
Austin
about.
Bryant.
Austin
There
Bryant.
you
Oh,
go.
right.
I'm a Clemson fan. I know who Austin Bryant is. Love that guy.
I had high hopes for him,
Yeah, he was
and
a
he showed
specimen.
flashes.
Hey, he's doing nothing with the 49ers right now.
Who is it?
He got cut.
Austin Bryant.
Oh yeah.
Here's a question, way off topic, but it's a good one. Worst acquisition by the Broncos: Russell Wilson or Sean Payton?
Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson.
Sean Payton can
Yeah,
coach,
Russ.
man.
Sean
I don't
Payton.
think Sean Payton wants Russell Wilson, man.
They doubled down. That, like, as bad of a GM as John Elway was, this guy might be worse.
They're
So
drafting quarterback.
so going forward, now that we're 3-1, where do you see the windows of wins at, Dom?
Maybe now I'm up to 10, maybe 11. I don't know.
I had 10 as my floor without being 3-1 because I thought we'd be 2-2 right now. Remember we talked about this. I
Yeah.
said we were going to lose one of the first two, and we were going to probably, that was before we saw the run defense be as legit as it is because it was so bad last year. I had us at 2-2 at this point, going towards the Panthers.
I might be to 11, but I also might say 10 because I figured we would lose one to Minnesota or Chicago. Probably not Chicago, maybe Minnesota, but we still might week 18 when we have the division wrapped up.
I think we're going to see 11 wins this year. I'm sticking with that as my main prediction, but I think the ceiling now is up to 13.
13.
I agree 100%.
Easy,
I agree with
boys.
No,
Like
the
else-
ceiling is 13. The Chargers are playing like ass defensively.
We do have 2 road wins and 2 tries.
We beat the Super Bowl champs, and I don't care who they had on their roster. 90% of that team that was playing was in the Super Bowl.
Hey,
Right.
Mhm.
that was without Travis Kelce and before Taylor Swift gave them a boost, man.
Oh,
And
but
before
wait,
Chris-
Taylor Swift may have given them a slight boost, but they literally had to get Kelsey a touchdown that game somehow, so they kept throwing at him till it stuck like Eric Ebron.
You know what? It served its purpose.
Patty came out and said that Kelsey was just running his own routes.
Yeah,
Not
he wasn't
even-
following the plays at all.
Yeah, he was running
He's
his own
instinctual.
routes.
That's why.
He's done that for years.
Yeah, he's instinctual.
Do you think Tyreek Hill ran those freaking routes that were called? No, he got himself fucking open.
Yeah, I'm with you, Petty Grimes.
That's just how it works with Mahomes. He's gonna open up some time in the pocket, and then you just get open somewhere.
Baltimore, Dallas. I don't think we're losing to New Orleans. I think this is the year we got their number, especially with Derek Carr and a UCL. He's going to be out 6 to 8 weeks. We play him before he gets back.
Get 30
Famous
for 30.
game.
Oh, damn, he's not that long.
Man, so
Yeah,
beating
that's a
them.
UCL sprain.
You're beating Baltimore. Dallas might be a good fight.
Dallas
We're
might be a.
We're not beating Baltimore or Dallas.
You're beating Baltimore.
I don't know. At this point, I don't know. I don't know.
I think we got to take one game at a time, y'all, because our injuries can
here's the
pile
thing.
up pretty quickly.
With
That's
with
what I
the
keep
Cardinals
saying.
beating Dallas at their in Dallas West because they've never beaten.
I mean, we'll be favored. We'll be favored in a lot of these games, but I don't know if we're going to win them all.
This is why you're going to beat Baltimore though, because they only have one healthy wide receiver.
You think? I have a question for the panel. Do you guys think any of these games could get moved to prime
There's
time?
only 2 of them that are flexed, and that's the Broncos game, and the other one is the Week 18 versus Minnesota.
I'm gonna throw one game out, and I know I'm gonna get shit for it, but it worries me, and I'll tell you why. The Bucks.
Yeah, Dan is equally worried about it.
Because Mike Evans is a dude, and he's a big guy, and I don't know if Cam Sutton can hold him down. 2, that defense is actually pretty good for the Bucks, and they like to blitz, and their linebackers are pretty damn good.
Yeah, but it's still Baker Mayfield who's starting to look like.
Yeah, that is
Baker
true.
Mayfield.
That is the caveat. That is Baker Mayfield. You're absolutely right.
I still like Baker. I don't care.
And it's on the road, and we struggle in Tampa
I still
Bay.
love Baker too.
But
when was the last time you won in Tampa Bay?
1998, I was there.
Oh hell.
Gotta
break that record.
That was just before they left the division, though. We haven't really played Tampa in Tampa.
I thought we played them like 5 or 6 years ago.
Maybe once.
One time with Stafford, and we whooped their ass.
And Calvin played. Calvin was in that game.
Yep, Calvin was in that game. I think that was a 2014-15 season, if I remember right.
That game bothers me a little bit.
It doesn't bother me. I'm not scared of anybody left on the schedule, other than at Minnesota. I don't know why, but we have not been able to get them yet.
We haven't got over the hump, man, on that one. We've been in games, we just haven't got off the hump of it.
Right.
Minnesota's tanking.
Minnesota may be tanking, but if everybody else that's above them has 2 or 3 wins, they'll win that game just to be spiteful.
Yeah.
Doesn't Minnesota play Arizona this week?
I hope Minnesota.
No, Minnesota plays the Panthers. I mean the Panthers.
Okay.
Pampers.
Hey,
Because that whole team is full of shit that they would be better this year.
Love it. Got Chicago,
Very
we
well.
got the Pampers, we got the Packers, man. A lot of shit loving. Love it.
If the Panthers somehow win this week, we will go into Minnesota and beat them.
I'll say this. Jared Goff.
That's several weeks from now, though.
Jared Goff made a comment after the game. He says, "We'll play anybody, anywhere, anytime."
Yep.
I haven't heard that from a player in a long time for the Lions.
He's earned the right to say that.
And he believes in the defense. He believes in the defense.
So
I'm not a fan of Goff. He's that fucking guy for y'all.
Panthers come to our house next week. What do you guys say?
We better whoop their ass. I'll be there. Jamo's going to have 3 touchdowns. I'm calling it.
I'm not going to go that far.
He's probably not even going to play.
He's going to play.
Yes.
We don't need him to play.
Yes, we do. I want to be there, damn it. I want to watch him play.
Oh my God.
Why wouldn't you play him? He's at 10 days of rest.
Because
He's
he
ready to
hasn't
go.
fucking played at all this season.
He's ready to go. Just tell him to run. He's ready.
I got the Lions winning by 17.
It could get ugly.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the Lions on October 15th play at Tampa.
Yeah, I think we'll win that game, but that's going to be tough.
Yep. Then it's Lions at Ravens on the 22nd.
That one's really going to be tough.
Win.
I think
Ravens. We haven't won in Baltimore. Last time we played, we got our ass kicked.
And right now we're what? 2-0 in prime time?
Hey,
Are we
Nate,
losing to the Raiders at home?
Fuck no!
All right then.
Maybe.
No.
We debut the nice jerseys.
Yes.
We're going to lose one game somewhere where it's like, how did we lose that?
The Panthers will be that game. Watch.
Fuck no, the Bucks.
Oh, no.
Bucks.
Nobody
Bumming
expects
the
that to
shit
happen.
out of them.
Bucks are still a legit team. The Panthers are that team where you're like, there's no way in hell you should lose.
Is Matt Ryan a poor man's Goff?
No, you can't say
No.
no.
that. MVP.
The Bucks
No.
are better than the Panthers right now. That's why it worries me.
Exactly, they are. But you know what?
I don't know how
Almost every
anybody
team-
could say that because Goff made more money than Matt Ryan.
Matt Ryan won an NFL MVP.
And I know, and I don't know if y'all,
Yes.
I don't know if y'all watched.
Aberration.
I don't know if y'all watched the
Cam Newton won an
Philadelphia.
MVP.
I don't know if y'all watched the Philadelphia and the Bucks game, but the Bucks turned the ball over. Is really why Philadelphia ran away with it. The Bucks were hanging with the Philadelphia Eagles, and they were making Jalen Hurts a little uncomfortable. The Bucks just couldn't hold on to fucking football.
Oh, shush,
wow.
Patty.
He's not wrong.
Delete that comment.
Oh,
Like,
there it is. Patty
I mean,
Grimes.
what did
We
be the
lose to
first
Baltimore on a 67-yard record
Nah,
field
fuck that.
goal.
Not a 67-yarder. I want a 72-yarder if you're going to lose to Baltimore on a field goal. 72-yarder. Make it special.
He still probably make it.
Yo, because they finally called a penalty and they had the timeout to not get the 10
What's up, man? What's up?
Run
Somebody
out.
call my name.
You said that we didn't look good against Baltimore last year. That's
We
because
looked great against Buffalo.
I said Baltimore.
Oh, Baltimore?
That's because a missed flag
2 years ago.
and that field goal. The game was close.
Oh no, I'm talking about we played in Baltimore, not when we played against Baltimore. I'm talking about we played. Oh, last time we played on the road against Baltimore, we got our ass kicked.
Last time we played in Baltimore, we didn't have a defense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was 2 years ago, right?
In
We played Baltimore
no.
twice in a.
It was like 4 years ago or 5 years ago.
Oh,
the last
wow.
time we played in Baltimore.
That's back when we had
yeah.
Quintrasha.
Yeah.
Anytime.
It wouldn't have come down to that field goal if Hollywood Brown wouldn't have dropped 7 touchdown passes.
True.
It was 3.
I'll tell you right now, I don't see the Lions losing at the home game the rest of the year. I think we'll win every home game going forward the rest of the year. Now, on the road, everybody knows on the road anything can happen, and it's always tough. You got to get off the fast start. You can't turn over the ball. You got to take the crowd out of the game.
I think our toughest opponents on the road going forward, Ravens.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And as much as I hate to say it, the Chargers are a tough team
Yeah.
at home, but they don't have a following, so we will probably end up with that.
Yeah, it'll be Detroit, LA. Detroit, LA.
Maybe
Herbert.
the Saints, but I doubt it.
Is that New Orleans?
That's at New Orleans.
Oh, man, I want to go to that game. Yeah, under the dome, they're crazy, man.
Yep. And then at
Dallas.
Vikings and at Dallas. I mean,
Yeah.
those are the ones that you got to put maybe.
50-50.
Yeah. But if we lose all those, guess what? It's a 9-7 season again.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If we
It might be
lose
better to win the division.
all of them.
Hell, we've seen teams win the division when they've had less than 500 wins.
Last year,
Yep, exactly.
Hey, we just went into Arrowhead and Lambeau and won. What other stadium can we go in and win?
oh, I'm for sure we can go into Raymond James and win. I'm for sure we probably could beat the Saints talent-wise.
Probably not the Cowboys and Ravens.
The Cowboys and Ravens
You know what?
are the biggest question marks.
Yes.
We can lose both those games. It won't necessarily matter.
You beat the Cowboys.
We can get blown
you
out by
got that
Dallas
quarterback.
because we're going to blow them out at home in the playoffs.
I love it.
Oh, yeah, that's something we're not thinking about, though. There is still golf fans in L.A.
Oh, yeah. How redemption that would be.
There are no football fans in LA.
The few
Yeah,
that
that's
are
true,
there,
then.
they're split 60-40. 40 were against golf, and 60 were like, golf wasn't bad. He was half the reason.
Yeah, y'all talk about tourists, man. Like in
60
London,
are USC, and the other 40 are UCLA.
LA is a tourist spot, and that's why a lot of people just go to the
There's
games.
one football fan in Los Angeles.
A to
It's-
Z
it's
Sports.
Matt
Here we
Stafford's
go.
wife.
When will Detroit Lions take the training wheels off Jahmyr Gibbs?
Oh God, come on, man.
The only fans
You
of
know-
football in freaking California at all were Raiders fans, honestly.
If you got
Right.
Eckler on your fantasy team, sit him.
Buckler.
I tried to tell
Well,
people
anyway,
3 years running, I am the angel of death of running back health.
Everybody is, man.
Hey, Nate. Eckler is eating an eau claire while he's hurt.
Eckler.
We can beat anyone, Braylon.
We can.
Yeah.
But our defense has got to show up, and our offense has got to score points. It's complementary football.
We better be up 3 scores with 5 minutes left.
Right?
Hey, I'm not saying we can't beat them. I'm saying those are the tough places to play. There's a
Exactly.
big difference.
Yeah.
Okay, well, have a good night. Thanks for joining.
Yep. Thank you guys. Have a
I
good
see you
night,
guys started finding the private chat. I'm so proud of you.
I'm just so fucking.
I'm sorry. My friend wants me to do so real quick.
Yeah, no
I'm
problem.
just-
Have a great night.
I'm just so fucking happy that we're number one in the division, and we're actually it's not tied. We are number one division. You got a 2-game lead, and it's only gonna get better, boys.
How many Detroit Lions fans show up in LA? Well, I know of at least 6 of them that I know personally that live in LA. But
Right.
a lot. They like
A
to
lot.
Go Chargers! Go Chargers!
y'all guys like to travel. There'll be a bunch there.
Lions fans are traveling now, man. We're starting to become one of those fan bases where you hear us when we go to games.
That's
I
because
love
they're not
it.
They
embarrassed.
said
Did you-
even the bars in Kansas City were like 60% Lions fans.
Yeah, I need more of that in Texas. I don't see that
Did
yet.
you hear after the game when they were doing the prime? Our fans were. We couldn't even hear the prime time.
I mean, to be fair, Detroit. How far is Detroit from Green Bay? They're not that far, right?
I wish I could have got that picture that showed the lower bowl
Further
pregame.
than you think.
Oh, okay.
We have plenty of
2
fans
hours.
in Green Bay. Donkey Kong is one of them.
Donkey Kong. I like
Maybe it's like 7.
Yeah, and plus the whole stadium, we had like a huge line at the end of the game.
But how far is it from Green Bay to Detroit? Does anybody know?
I'm looking right now.
I think it's
Okay.
like a
From
20,
my house in Metro Detroit to Lambeau Field is
18-hour drive.
no. Wow. There's not a bridge over Lake Michigan.
No, there's a ferry from Muskegon.
6 hours and 44 minutes.
6 hours? Okay.
If you take the ferry, it'll end up taking you like 10.
10? Holy hell.
Yeah, because you got to go there and get there at the perfect time through the
Yeah, a
schedule.
boat does not move as fast as a car.
Right, but it is a straight line. And you save
Yeah.
a shit ton of gas.
Last time I went through Green Bay, I took an Indian Trails bus, and it went through the UP and all around and down into Green Bay.
That's the way I like to go. I like driving that long distance.
Same here.
Is
Yeah, I'll
Lambeau
take
Field
that, James. I'll take
Is
that.
Lambeau Field out in the middle of nowhere? I feel like it's like one of those things where it's like BFL USA, where
Green
they're-
Bay, Wisconsin has one of the smallest population markets for an NFL team. But
Okay.
you know what? It is a city. Barely.
Yeah, there's a residential area, and Lambeau Field is right in their backyard, just about.
Oh yeah, I saw
Drive
that on
through
the
the right
I saw
part of
that on the
town.
commercial. Yeah, he was sitting
Yeah.
outside and is right in front of Lambeau Field. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Can you imagine being able to sit there if they'd have built it like Allegiant Stadium where they have the glass go through so you can see the field?
Wow, that'd be
that'd be
cool.
awesome.
Honey, I'm gonna go watch my team play.
Can you imagine how much
So-
it would keep that place warm in the winter then?
Whew, yeah, I know. But that being said, I want to say kudos to Sheila Ford Hamp for now owning 2 teams in the NFC North, the Lions and the Packers.
Soon to be 2 or 3 more.
Well, let's see. We're what? 3-1 versus the Bears now.
Chicago.
We're 2-2 with Minnesota.
The Bears should
And we're 4-1 with the Pack-Tards.
the Bears count. They should be a UFL team.
Speaking of UFL, they're gonna combine with the XFL. Did y'all hear that?
Yeah. You know what?
Yeah, it's the
Still play better.
USXFL.
It's about fucking time. I was wondering when they're gonna do that.
Hey,
Now you have
I
one
think the
shitty league
loser-
instead of 2.
I think they should regulate the loser of Denver and Chicago to the XFL joint merged league.
Listen, probably.
Send him over to Spain.
I mean, the most popular sport in the rest of the world,
It's soccer.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And you know the top pro league over there, the what's
UFA,
it called?
Manchester.
No, it's
Premier League.
yeah, relegation.
Mm-hmm.
That's why NFL Europe should have still survived, because at least then you could have sent Jacksonville
To
to
London
freaking London, and you don't come back
until you win that
until
championship.
you win it. And they send over who are the good NFL Europe teams? Barcelona. I don't know.
Manchester.
Rhine Fire.
Manchester United.
Frankfurt, whoever the
The idea that anybody thinks an NFL team's ever going to be in Europe is crazy, because you think about the distance and the travel that you have to do and the layover and all that. Can you imagine?
It's not. I
There will
mean,
be
that too.
There will be 2 teams there because money makes sense.
England does not care about pro football.
Doesn't
But they
matter.
host it.
It'll still fill stadiums. Nobody gives a shit. It's all about money, dude. You know that.
Yeah, but it's American tourists at those games.
They're still paying to go to the game.
I mean, at least now Jacksonville's good. Can we start sending Chicago there twice a year?
They already went there.
Is
They went there
Jacksonville
last
even
year,
gonna
didn't they?
come
They played the
home?
Raiders. They played
Is
played
Jacksonville
Vegas.
even going to come home between those games, or are they going to be marooned in?
No, they're out. They're staying over there for both weeks.
Smart. Yeah. Why travel back and then have to go back again and stay there?
Now, if they did an expansion team over there and they started something from the ground up, okay, you might have a chance to build a real fan base there.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you.
No, they don't care.
Let me ask you a question. Okay, let's say hypothetically, let's say the Lions win this division. Okay, is this something we can sustain for the next 4 or 5 years?
Why not? As long as we're plugging and playing the right guys into the positions as we lose players.
But what about with the opposition? What are they going to be doing? I mean, let's be honest. Minnesota or Chicago very well could be up for a top first round draft pick, which could be Caleb Williams or Drake May if they come out.
Well, if Chicago has the number 1 pick, Caleb Williams will stay in college another year.
Yeah.
Dude,
He basically already said that.
So
he flat out said he would get his freaking PhD if Chicago kept having first round pick.
to all the rags out there that have been talking about Devontae Adams and wanting a trade, the reason why you won't hear a trade, they're so close to being over the cap, they can't afford to do it.
Right.
And
So
we
they
got
would
young
have to
Jamo.
get Devontae Adams to restructure his contract or get another team to pay that dead cap.
The one that would get traded first would be freaking Max Crosby.
I would love Max, man.
Oh, yeah,
Max,
because he's still on the end of that rookie contract.
Mad
right?
Max and Aiden Hutchinson. Oh my God.
That's the deal. Because now
That
that Chandler Jones went off the deep end over his ex-girlfriend screwing around.
Well, sweet, because if somehow they traded Devontae Adams, we could trade them Jamo in the Max Crosby deal.
Right.
Hey,
we get Devontae Adams. I'm good with that.
$8 million cap hit.
No, yeah, I know. You can't really realistically
$29 million dead cap hit.
Let's go after Max Crosby, y'all. Max Crosby.
Hey, Max Crosby's from here, and he's been on record as to saying he'd love to play for Dan Campbell.
Man. Him and Aiden Hutchinson, we'd have the best 2 booking ends.
Everybody says he wouldn't want to play here, but Sue has gone on record. The best coach he ever played for was Dan Campbell.
Sue?
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the reasons that I know this is a different era. Because if it wasn't, Chauncey Gardner would not have signed here.
Right. Well, that was Aaron Glenn. But Dan Campbell hired Aaron Glenn.
He specifically was asked that by that Danny Rogers in the interview when he got here. He goes, after I watched what Dan Campbell and the Lions did to Packers on Week 18, when they had nothing to play for, that's why I wanted to go to Detroit, and that's why I turned down $9 million to Philly to come to Detroit for 6.
I mean, he knew Aaron Glenn a long time too. So I mean, I guess both. You know, you can go both.
No, Andrew has brought up a fair point. Who do you trust, Justin Fields or Russell Wilson? Because Denver could easily have a top pick and go quarterback.
Russell Wilson, man, hands down.
Right now,
Why would you take a quarterback? You got to ride it out with Russell Wilson.
At least another year.
At least Russell Wilson's
At
won a Super Bowl. What the fuck has Fields done? Nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
You know what I
What the
trust
fuck has
Justin
Russell
Fields to
Wilson
do?
done without the LOB?
Not
No.
make a pass.
they have to ride out with Russell Wilson because they gave up so goddamn much to get him. But
They
they're going to
gave
have a
up
flyer sale.
95% of all of their draft picks and money for him.
Yeah.
Then they used the last 5% for Sean Payton. Like,
Dude.
oh, we'll fix this.
Yeah.
No, you won't.
Not only that, but look at the Bears situation, dude. The Bears are fucked, dude, because their fan base is like, dude, you trade up for Trubisky, he was trash. Then you try to sell us on Fields, he looks like trash.
Blake May.
And then on top of that, now you're gonna try to sell us on another quarterback. Like, good luck, man. Nobody's gonna take Fields.
They'll get a 5th-round pick.
Oh,
Yeah, he'll be traded to a team that needs a backup quarterback. He'll go there and watch him actually have a decent quarterback coach who can teach him how to have good mechanics and how to read a team.
better question you should ask yourself is: would you rather have Zach Wilson or Justin Fields?
Hey, there's a trade out there.
At this point, I would take Fields for the athleticism because you can convert him
Run
to a
ability.
wide. You could convert him to a wide receiver or running back. He could be the next Terrell Pryor in the league.
That's what Vince Young should have done when he went to the NFL. He should have came a tight end.
Terrell Pryor, you mean the best Ohio State quarterback in the NFL?
Yeah, who made it as a wide receiver
By
slash tight
virtue
end.
of a 1,000-yard receiving year.
Yep.
Nate, now that you brought that up, there was a trade out there. Fields for Wilson, a 5th and a 7th.
That 54, if you look at the trade, that's if they cut him, it's $54 million. If you look at the trade after 6-1, it's 23.4.
No, I was gonna, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see anybody taking Fields, man. But maybe.
You never know. Somebody gets hurt. Like,
Maybe.
he just went to a bad situation. That is the freaking problem.
I think Kyler Murray's going to get traded before Fields does.
Yeah.
Kyler Murray, they can't afford to trade him because they're at the cap level because of all the stuff they've done.
Oh, and
Kyler Murray
guaranteed
will
money
have to be a Brock Osweiler trade situation.
Yeah.
Where they give someone a bunch of
Dobbs is playing pretty well, man. I mean, you know, he's doing all right.
Funny story about Dobbs. He went to go buy one of his jerseys, and they didn't.
Yeah.
They didn't even
And he
have
couldn't.
Shit, that's terrible.
He
and
tried
Dom.
to get
He needs to get a hold of Dom so he can get a custom jersey made.
Dobbs.
Dom,
yeah,
real quick.
he tried to get jerseys for his family members.
That's terrible,
And,
man.
Yeah,
Poor
they didn't
guy.
have him.
Like they didn't have a Josh Dobbs, and then he couldn't make a custom one. Like he wasn't on the roster. But
That's like me when I go to the store in Texas here and I try to go find Lions merchandise and all they have is a Barry Sanders jersey. Which I'm not
What would
complaining.
you
I love
offer?
Barry Sanders.
What would you offer for Max Crosby? Because I have a feeling they'd want a first rounder. Fuck yeah, they'd want a first rounder. They're probably going to want a first and a third and a future pick.
I'd give a first rounder for him. I wouldn't give up multiple.
How
I'd
much does
give
Max Crosby make our defense better?
A lot.
I would give up Anzalone, James Houston, and a first.
Now, here's the thing. You're giving up ammo that Brad Holmes loves to keep when
Max
making
Crosby went
kicks.
to Eastern.
Yep.
Yes, he did.
Graduated
So-
from Detroit.
You have to ask yourself the question, if Max Crosby takes our defense to a top 10 or even top 5 level, are you okay with losing that draft capital that Brad Holmes has been hitting on?
100% I am. Think of it this way. Max Crosby's a 15-sack guy a year. Now, how many more sacks are him and Hutch going to have when they have somebody legit on the other side to take one of those double teams?
How old is Max Crosby?
26.
26.
Oh, shit.
Perfect time to get him.
Yeah. I would give a first round. If he's 26 years old,
And just turned 26.
I'd give him a first rounder pick
a
because
month ago.
if you get him, our defense goes from top 5 status.
I would give him a first and a third and Houston when healthy to get him.
Or a Cora or somebody else or Harris.
They're not going to take somebody that doesn't get sacks.
Yeah.
For the
Okay.
amount of
What about
sacks they're giving up,
Harris?
Harris doesn't get enough sacks. They're going to want a sack master because
Well, we can't get him this year. We can't get Houston because he's hurt.
I'm
When
just
he's
saying
healthy.
when
Oh,
he's healthy,
oh.
when he's healthy, because remember he went out game 2.
Yeah, he hurt his ankle, right?
Yep, and he could be back before week 8 at the trade deadline. That is a trade deadline move I would do. I would do a first and James Houston in a heartbeat for Max Crosby.
Well, you guys also
First.
heard all the guys Denver is going to be putting on the trade block, right?
There's nobody on their team that I'd want off their trade block. They're all either too high or they're not good enough.
Or they're too old.
As great as Max Crosby would be, like, let's wait and see if there's actually a glaring weakness on this team. Because right now, I don't see one other than a tall possession receiver. Oh, wait, that's Laporta.
Interior.
There's no weakness on this team.
There isn't.
Or is there? And you know me, I'm the ultimate, realist.
I mean, we don't have a lot of depth on the interior. If Mac or Bugs goes down, I mean, we're back to square one with Burrito Jones and Levi, and maybe you bring in Martin. I'm a little worried about the interior at times, but as long as Mac is good, we're okay.
Cortland Sutton had one good year. It was his rookie season. Other than that, he's either been hurt or just average.
Yeah, we don't need receivers, man. Laporta's a fucking receiver. Y'all forget. Like, the guy can catch the ball. He's another receiver.
Jamo's coming back.
And Jamo's coming back. We're good there.
Here's what I would want from Detroit. I mean, Denver. The one that no. There's 2 people there. The one won't hit the trade deadline because it'll be after the season if he gets moved. That'd be PS2. But Justin Simmons.
We have the safeties already.
After this year, Gunnar Johnson's only on a 1 year.
But you got Kirby, you got Branch.
You still got Iffy for another season?
Joseph.
Branch
Hopefully Joseph's going to come around. You got Walker. We're good at safety, y'all.
You're not
If
just
we do something in the playoffs, Gardner Johnson might come back.
That'd be amazing.
He might. Since it didn't require surgery, I've heard nothing about it requiring surgery. The time for a torn pec is 6 to 8 weeks.
I'm going to say this. You can never have enough pass rushers, especially elite pass rushers. Especially in a passing league, you need more pass rushers. You can never have enough.
And we have
that would be the first one you trade for.
Andrew, he signed till 2027. Think about it. 2020. This is the 2023-24. So 24. That's 25, 26, 27. But you get him the rest of 24. That's 3.5 years for a first rounder.
And if you really want Max,
wait. Let me explain it properly though. The only guarantee you have with the first rounder is 4 years. There's no guarantee he's good, and there's no guarantee he stays for the 5th year option.
Right. And another thing,
you actually have him for the same length as if you drafted him in the first round this year. That's
and
4 seasons.
And another thing to consider is that if we trade this first rounder, I mean, we don't see ourselves being in the top 10 unless a massive injury happens to Goff. So that first rounder is probably going to be mid or late first. So that's definitely worth. Yeah, that's definitely worth the gamble.
And the best part about trading a first round pick away, you don't have to pay a first round pick contract.
Exactly.
So do we give up a first round this upcoming year or a future first rounder?
I almost would try to give him the 2025 one because of the draft being in Detroit. Right. If I could. And that's why I would do a future first and this year's third. It's not a bad plan because look at the hits we've had in the 4th through 7th rounds by Holmes. That's where he finds his goal.
More than anything, that we're talking about trade deadline deals instead of fucking mock drafts.
That's awesome. Right? We're maturing.
What? Why? Because what's the chance of us picking in the top 10 right now?
Zilch.
There's always a chance.
And another thing you guys have to realize too is that before this year started, nobody saw all 4 of our rookies playing impactful moments. You know, they thought they were going to be depth pieces because we have so much depth already, and we have the guys that popped.
Ask
You
Dom.
know,
Who did I not say all 4 of the first 2, all of our first 4 picks would be playing this year? Did I not say it?
You did.
Oh,
you
for
did.
sure.
Did I not say that I didn't give a shit about the first round picks? The second round guys, ones I liked.
I know.
who cares, man? They're all good.
But I
They're
also
all going to be
said,
good.
I said, everybody that was bitching about the positional value and then raving about the second and third round. I said, if you flip those picks from the
Nobody
second
bitched
round
about
and the first round, if you just
Yeah.
flip them the other way, there isn't a single person that wouldn't have said it was an A+ draft.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
If you would have took Branch at 12 and then Laporta at what 17 or 18, whatever
18.
that was. Yeah, 18.
Yep.
Nobody says a fucking word.
Right.
Nope.
And then you'd get Gibbs at 34. And
And the reality is because of the running back situation, everybody saw Bijan maybe go in the top 10. I saw Gibbs. I really thought we were going to go Gibbs because I thought he was the next best running back.
But at the same time, and I posted the report, and Dom says I don't see it, but there was a report where the GMs got together, and 15 GMs had Gibbs rated higher than Bijan.
Yeah, true. And that's fine.
Living
But the
potential.
thing is, here's the real reason I didn't like that pick there. He's leaving after his first contract.
I understand that, and that's fine, because that means that we're going to have him for a minimum of 5 years as long as he stays as good as he is year one.
Mm-hmm.
I would have stayed at 6 and I would have took Carter. I don't care.
They never wanted Carter. The proof was what
He was
happened with the Seattle pick.
Off the board.
He was off the board.
He was off about
because
15 teams' boards completely.
And they all fucked up.
They may have all fucked up, but the thing is Dan Campbell came out 3 weeks before the draft after he went to that Pro Bowl, the Pro Day, and said after talking to his teammates, it was eye-opening.
Oh yeah, because he's a fucking selfish asshole.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't even care about that, man. Like if I could have talent, you're just gonna be a selfish asshole. I'm giving you one fucking job. Just fucking do it. Everybody else do around you.
And at the same time, I understand that. I understand how you feel,
We
but
don't
that's
do
not
that.
how this team doesn't do that. They draft people who are fit for what they want. Their attitude, their character, all of it. They drafted people with grit and that they can plug and play. That's exactly what they said.
I get that, man. It's just hard to pass up talent like that.
I much rather would have last year, and I'm going to say it again. At 12, I wished it would have been Jordan Davis.
Mm-hmm.
God, he's a big motherfucker.
Yeah, but could you see last year? Okay, if you could do it over and you're to rewind because of what happened at 12, because he was on the board, Jordan Davis instead of Jamo. What would this defense would have been last year?
Yep. I would have never drafted Jamo in the first round to begin with, coming off the injury.
But his speed was electric, and they pounded the table for him. And we needed a weapon like that. Despite what anybody says, even though he wasn't able to be available and he came in with no offseason, what did he do the first play he was in? Tutty.
Tutty.
I'm gonna say one thing. I'm gonna say one thing that I heard last night on the broadcast from Kirk Herbstreit, and the guy knows college football. He calls the best game. So
you're muted. Or your headphones died, dude.
He said Detroit is fast and they're athletic. And that's exactly why you draft a guy like Jamo and a guy like Gibbs, because they are game-changing home run speeds that are matchup nightmares for defenses. They will keep them awake all night.
When we traded up before I heard that they were taking Jamo, I was hoping they'd take Devin Lloyd right there. I really wanted that guy here.
I'm okay with Jack Campbell.
Yeah.
I'm okay
We're
with
just
Jack
talking
Campbell.
about last year's draft.
Devin Lloyd, yeah, he would have been nasty too.
And we knew
I
that
know,
Burns,
and we
knew
haven't had
Burns was gonna-
Jamo anyways. And I said with that Jamo, when we traded up, I thought for sure. Dom even heard me say it. Jordan Davis, let's go. Put him with Hutchinson on the same D line. I was all excited, and then they said Jamison Williams, and I was like, okay.
Jordan Davis hasn't done shit anyways.
Out of your sales on that one.
Say what?
I said I remember that. You could see the wind come out of your sails when they said GMO.
I
But what
know.
has Jordan
Oh, that
Davis
was bad
done?
as hell.
The worst was Dom when he looks it up. He goes, "Oh my God, he's from Ohio State."
I remember that.
He like
Dom,
grew
Their
up
wide
playing.
receivers aren't that much better than their quarterbacks.
Dom, we can at least agree on this, man. CJ Stroud's already the best Ohio State quarterback.
Yep.
Didn't
CJ
Chase transfer?
Who?
That's a backhanded compliment.
Well, Chase, didn't he transfer?
Considering he has almost as many passing yards as Fields had his rookie year, it's pretty good.
That's because
I
you
think-
got the greatest receiver in this draft in Tank Dell out there.
Yes. Hank Dell has been awesome for that.
Look at Nico Collins.
Came from the U of H, baby. Houston. I'll say this about drafting players. You know, you mentioned Devin Lloyd, right? I think the reason why they didn't draft Devin Lloyd is because they knew they had something in Barnes and they were waiting for him to pop. And they maybe saw there was a bigger need somewhere else. And you look at Jordan Davis. Okay, yeah, Jordan Davis, yeah, he was a beast in college. But they have Mac. And they knew he was going to pop or he was going to come in third year. So they knew that they had players that were just waiting to pop. And so I think that they were like more, let's wait and see what happens. And then if we have to make a move, we'll make a move. And now you're seeing these third year players like a Barnes, like a Mac. Like they're coming into their own.
Oh, he is nowhere near that good, Andrew. You've fallen in love with the man crush stuff again. Cortland Sutton is not that good.
Yeah.
No. He would have already popped.
He's mostly been hurt rather than being on the field.
Just a big receiver is all he is.
He's not even that big.
He's
He
6'5".
doesn't miss a lot of games, but he's always dinged up.
Yep.
Yes.
He's 6'5".
But he
isn't
did miss 15 games Jerry Jeudy's rookie year, and then Jerry Jeudy disappointed. And my buddy
He's
James
6'4".
said something to me earlier, and I'm like, "Fuck, I hope he's not right."
He's six.
He was like,
He's
"Jamo's the next Jeudy."
he's 6'4" and 216. But
Wait, 6'4" what?
6'4" and 216. Will you let me speak? 216. In his career, and this is going into what, year 4? He's had 239 receptions. That's, if you break that down by 4, that's 80 a year. He's got 3,400 yards. He's not even hitting 1,000 yards as a wide receiver 1.
Wow.
And he's only had 14 touchdowns.
Are we talking Sutton or Judy?
Sutton.
Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta stop talking about the receiver talk, y'all. I'm okay
No,
with Jamo.
I'm just addressing him
Yeah.
because he
For
seems
sure,
to have this
yeah.
man crush. On
No, but there's a
Cortland
lot of
Sutton.
Lions fans that still keep talking receivers. I'm like, dude, we just got Jamo back. Freaking Josh is solid. You got Leaf. You got Amara. You got Porta, who's another receiver. You got Gibbs, who could be a receiver too. Dude, you're loaded with receivers. You're good, man.
You
The
can never
weak link. Well,
receivers, man.
yeah, Lion King. You can say he was a weak link, but he got 2 picks. One, he benefited from a batted ball. Of the other one, he jumped the route perfectly.
Mosley was on a pro season, man.
That's a touchdown.
Say what?
The one where he got the in on the batted ball. If that ball doesn't get batted, that's a touchdown. He gets burnt.
Right. Because he was burnt.
He may start out the season not doing well, but he showed out against the Packers when we needed it most.
The biggest thing that happened with the batted ball interception was his confidence went up, and then all of a sudden you seen him playing better. He wasn't our lowest rated defender. That's all. Every week he's been the lowest rated cornerback in the room until this week. He needed that boost of confidence to get his game back to what we saw when he was playing while Okuda was hurt.
Can we talk about another issue that hasn't been addressed yet? What's the status of Brian Branch? Because I don't want to see Will Harris out of the field again because every time I see Will Harris, he's always trailing somebody.
Yeah.
And it's
Nothing's
usually for a
broken.
touchdown.
You asked a question. Let me finish. Okay.
Yeah.
X-rays were negative, so it's a high ankle sprain.
Low ankle sprain.
Oh, low ankle sprain, which
Yep.
actually isn't as bad.
No,
Exactly.
it's not. That's not.
All I heard was not serious.
Right.
Mhm.
It's not.
So he should be
serious.
good for Carolina. We're hoping.
I think they may let him miss Carolina because I don't think he's
Damn it,
necessary
I'm gonna
for
be there.
Carolina.
It's not
Yeah,
that.
because Kirby's going to come back, right?
Yeah, Kirby
Yeah,
should be back.
Kirby should be back because he had that hip pointer is all it was.
We might have Mosley debut by then, maybe.
Yeah,
Well,
Mosley should debut.
Mosley almost debuted this week, but with it
Yeah.
being a short week and him finally getting where he was at limited practice, they didn't want to let him go without him being 100%.
Yeah.
All I know is I don't want to see Will Harris out there anymore, man.
Yeah,
I'm
like
done
Jimmy
with
said,
it.
it's not needed for Branch because Carolina don't have weapons. Except for Thielen, who else do they have?
Is Chark gonna be back?
Nope.
No.
Oh, okay.
Chark's gonna be out for most of the
You-
season.
He's going to be out
DJ
for
Chark
half the
has
year.
played his 3 consecutive games. Now he's hurt.
Hmm.
Have you heard this story before? I have.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
played in. He
Sorry,
played
Brad
in,
Holmes moved off from him.
he played in 2 preseason games. He didn't play in the third one. He got hurt game 1
It was like a
and
neck
hasn't been back
injury.
yet.
The
Neck-
Panthers
I
are
thought
gonna
it was a
play.
knee.
He actually had a pretty good game, what, 2 weeks ago? Last week?
Oh.
The Panthers are going to play a lot like the Falcons did. They're going to run the ball. They're going to try to run the ball, and then they're going to play action or they're going to roll out with the young, just like
Who are they
Ritter
going to
tried
run
to
the
do.
ball with? Miles Sanders or Hubbard?
Chuba, both.
Yeah, he hasn't played since week 2. No, it couldn't have been week 2 because that's Seattle. 9/24, that was week 1. He
I
had
hope we
4
take that Carolina game personal. That's all I know because they fucked us last year.
That O-line isn't good enough to do what they did last year.
I
Yeah.
hope not.
It isn't.
Well, I hope we royally fuck them because
They lost
that
both
was-
their starting guards for the year. The one they just signed and their rookie.
Wow.
Who's out too, I believe.
Yeah, the rookie they lost like the week 1 or week 2 of the season, and they lost the other one in training camp.
Well, I hope we put half 100 on their asses because I'll be there. And the last time I was there, we whooped the shit out of Jacksonville. That was a great game. That was when we turned. That's I felt like we turned the corner.
I kind of want to see Mingo put up some yards, though. I like that guy.
You could do it in garbage time.
I don't want to
Well, guys,
yards.
we've been on for an hour and 42 minutes talking Lions, and I've got to drive my parents to Alaska shortly at 3:30 in the morning, or to the airport to go to Alaska.
Oh, okay.
Cool, man.
That'd be a long
That's a long ass trip, Jeremy.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I hope you put you got chains for your tires. You driving to Alaska.
Yeah. That being said, try every day to be a better person than you were the day before. That's the only way to make the world a better place. Fuck the Packers. FTP. Let's go.
Amen.
On to the Panthers. We will talk to you on Wednesday with the NFL Roundtable Talks. Who's in?
Let's do it. I'll be there.
Oh, spay and neuter your kids.
Oh my
Spade new
God.
to your kids.
Oh,
And your pets. Maybe your parents too, because some of you
Hey,
didn't have
y'all,
kids
just
that live.
FYI, the Lions have the 9th best odds to win the Super Bowl. Let's fucking go. It's
At
only
3
gonna
and
get
1,
higher.
it went up. And
Let's
also,
go, baby.
if the Cleveland Browns don't hold the Ravens to under 20 yards, the Lions have the number 1 rushing defense.
Woo.
FTP.
When have we... FTP.
FTP!